So if you have something a little bit more important to do, it is quicker to use or to spend some time to drive in the paddock and go in your tent, and then you can have a limited number of mechanics to fix the cars. Besides this being a very important race, it's also a good test match for Le Mans. This racetrack is very demanding, especially for transmission. So in a way, it's good that they have a problem, so they know what's going on and they can fix it for Le Mans. The good thing is that the other two cars are running really well, and I'm sure now with a very sharp time sheet, because the other one was, I mean, I thought my eyes were wrong, but you couldn't really see so much. You can see that the gap between the two cars is incredible. You know, they are playing within the 1, 2, 3 seconds after more than 6 hours. It's just unbelievable. And for some of you, it looks like people are cruising, but I promise you, they try so hard inside the car. It's every tenth of a second count, and they are friends, they are teammates. Everybody is driving an Audi and wants to win for Audi, but of course, you also want to win a little bit for yourself. So the other car, nobody likes to see the other car is so close in the mirror, and they're really trying hard. Also, the onboard view, it really gives you a very good picture. I think you really appreciate the grip of the car, you really appreciate the traffic, and as you can see, sometimes they have really very close calls. Sometimes they're wise enough to back off a little bit. There are places in the racetrack, like this is turn 1, in this first complex, turn 3, 4, and 5. If you don't overtake one at the braking on turn 3, you have to queue up for the whole complex, and this is going to be 3, 4 seconds. You can't drive on the outside because it's dirty. So, of course, so it's a close call, but it's a balance. We saw last year what happened with slower cars. This is a lesson learned, and I mean, you can never learn because always you have to take chances. If you don't take chances, if we would not take chances, we would all be home because there would be no racing. So it's really a mix, and actually sometimes you can't think so much about how many people are behind the project because you get so scared that you want to take chances anymore, and somehow you have to dare. So yeah, that's the update for the time being. Apart from that, the cars are running really good. Once I have the microphone, because this is such a nice spot, I would like to draw your attention to some technical aspects. You see the cars, this track is really, really rough. Very, very rough. You would say, why don't they surface it, you know, with all the money available and whatever. I hope they will never do, because if they resurface the circuit, half of the fun, if not more, will be gone. Modern circuits are so flat and they make the driver's life so easy. And all these bumps, they really contribute to make the corner far more exciting, far more difficult, more dangerous too, but far, far more rewarding. Technical aspect is downforce. These cars, they develop more than 2 tons, more than 4,000 pounds of downforce at top speed. You know, the faster you go, the more downforce you have. And so their own weight is more than triple at top speed. So the car has got an immense grip. And how do you appreciate the downforce? Over these bumps, when you see the difference between a good prototype and a Porsche, is in the frequency of going up and down. The prototype, they seem a lot more nervous. The car is going down by a compression, and immediately, because there is so much load on the springs, it's sprung up. But as soon as it's sprung up, there is a lot of, like a punch from the top to the bottom, a punch from the bottom to the top. It's like a boxer who is being hit from both sides. So the frequency is very, very high. A big force pushing down, a big force of the pump pushing up, and you see the cars, and then you see the Porsche, so the GT cars, which have already a significant amount of downforce, but not so much. They seem, their frequency to ride the bumps is a lot smoother. If you would go with a normal car, between one compression and one extension of the suspension, they would pass seconds, because you have a compression, the car goes up, and there is no force beside our own weight to push it down. So it is a slow thing. with the high downforce cars, all these things happen so quickly, and this is really a good place to appreciate. So just if you have time, have a look and really appreciate this difference. As a racing driver, when the first time we came here with the first R8 R, so before the R8, like the mother of the R8 in 99, the car it was a prototype, but the amount of downforce was not so much, and it was so difficult to go around here. We spent a lot of time trimming the suspension. Basically, the car will feel a compression. When there is a compression, you have a lot of grip because the tires stick to the road. But it's like you borrow money from the bank. You have to give it back to the bank, maybe not so immediately, but to the truck very, very quickly. So compression, grip, car gets light, lose grip, and you can't adapt your speed to an average. You have to adapt your speed to the least amount of grip you have to the corner. So it's difficult. And when we understood a little more, we realized that it was not really so much suspension, it's just downforce. We need the hand of God that pushes your head down as strong as possible to keep the car on the road, and this is what keeps you on. So later on, when the car was more, better developed, it was such a pleasure to drive here. It seems so unstable. It's such a high frequency. The car moves so much, but it's glued to the ground, and it's really a good feeling. So yeah, just if you want to have a look, and this is the little technical issue I wanted to share with you. Also, the downforce you can appreciate in braking with the inboard camera. And in turning in, it's really sharp, the way the car turns, and if you think you are driving your own car, which is of course made for other purposes, but from the minute you turn the steering wheel to the minute the car rolls and the minute the car actually goes, you almost need a calendar to count this time. And with the race car, it's so sharp, and I don't know, for me, it's like I'm sitting in the car when I see the inboard camera. The only difference is that the camera is placed in a much better position than the driver itself. So you see pretty well actually from the inboard camera, but you see how much space you have in the car to look. What the driver sees is a lot less than what we see in television. It's a significant difference, and sometimes when some drivers do some mistakes, you really have to consider that the way you see the road is really not good at all. The windscreen is dirty, although I counted 7 tear-offs, so 7 plastic adhesive layers that through the base that can be removed, but still what you see is very little. So yeah, this is the afternoon news. So far so good.